It's December again, can you believe? Nearly the end of 2019. And it's about this time of year that people who celebrate Christmas will be getting out their advent calendars, be they chocolate or otherwise. So I thought let's do something different. Not an advent calendar, but an AMSvent calendar. So if we're doing an AMSvent calendar, what does that mean? Well, all it means basically is that I'm going to be uploading a new video every day between now and Christmas Eve inclusively, so that's the 1st of December to the 24th of December. And these are going to be looking at games that you could have programmed yourself. Those sort of type-ins from magazines and sometimes books as well that you could have bought in the shop. Or in the case of this series of video, it's going to be just one book, because that's all I've got, it's all I've managed to find. So the nature of these type-ins, well, the nature of the fact that they are type-ins, it means that they're not going to be sort of blockbuster games up to commercial standard. But I do think it could be quite interesting just to have a look at them and sort of take a look at that sort of scene, Amstrad scene in the middle of the 80s, where quite a few things did come in magazines and you could try programming them yourselves. It gave people a bit of an introduction to Amstrad computing and got the feel of operating BASIC. Even if people didn't really know what they were doing at the time, you could just sort of parrot the code, you could just type it in without knowing what it was doing. So there are two main items that I've managed to find around the house that are the inspiration for this series of videos, so let's take a look at what they are. So there's the first item, a rather old and knackered looking box and cassette inside with a sleeve. These contain, or rather this cassette contains all the programs that we copied out from the magazines, etc. And it's got the names and the counter values there as well on the sleeve, so that was easier to salvage these when it came to backing them up. Because, as you know, with the old CPC 464 you could just rewind the cassette to the start, reset the counter, and then fast forward to the appropriate value to find the game that you wanted to locate. So that's the cassette, but this is a very interesting little item that I found, the Amstrad Games Book by Mark Ramshaw. This is from 1984, October 1984 specifically, and this contains 30 games, I think, well, 30 programs, I think they're nearly all games. They're all programmable in BASIC, and you can see a few samples there that I'm just showing. And there's a very nice little preface from the author as well, very encouraging preface and supportive preface. It says, the programs in this book make use of many different aspects of the Amstrad BASIC language, particularly the graphics and sound facilities. If you're new to computing, don't worry. Simply type in the programs shown, pressing enter at the end of each line. As you become more experienced with BASIC, you can alter the programs and introduce some of your own ideas and routines. I sincerely hope you have as much fun typing in and playing these programs as I had writing them. So that was from Mark Ramshaw in October 1984. And as you can see from the back of the book there, it's cost £4.95. I think it's Pitman Publishers or Pitman Bookshops or something like that, I think it says on the label. So that was interesting what was said about altering the programs as well and introducing some of your own ideas and routines. So we may fiddle around with them over the course of the next 3.5 weeks, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I may just fiddle around with some of the text entries or something like that for a bit of fun, who knows. So I think that we're just about ready to get started now. I'll just finish by saying that these type-ins from the magazines and the books were very family-friendly, really, because one person could type in a chunk of code, and then when they felt they needed a rest, somebody else could take over. So you could sort of operate on a sort of hot seat basis, really. And that was very good. Not that I've too many memories of doing that, because I would have been in my I don't know what you call it, actually. You can say mid-30s, 20s and teens, can't you? What would I be if I was in my mid-noughties, my mid-noughties, or something like that? I certainly would have been very, very young. And the few memories that I do have of doing this are very fond ones indeed. So, ready to get started, I think. Let's take a look at the AMSvent calendar. This is going to have 24 windows on it, or 24 doors to open over the next 3.5 weeks. Let's take a look. There it is, 24 doors, all containing a fresh type-in as we move from day to day through the month of December. So today is December the 1st. It's time for door number 1. Let's see what we've got waiting for us. Well, it's a game called Formula 1, which is from the Mark Ramshaw book in 1984. Only 2 keys to be used in this game, Z and M. and you use those keys just to move left and right. And the object of this game is to move your rather dodgy looking car past these yellow cars. And that's easier said than done, because these cars tend to follow you around across the road. And that's it, that's the entire game. Just pass as many of these as you possibly can. And the best tactic for this game is probably to try and stick to one side of the road for as long as you can, and then move to the side just at the last minute, like so. If you try and take the middle of the road, you don't leave yourself as much space to get past them, and if there's more than one car coming at the same time, then you can be in a spot of trouble. So we're back across. Let's try going across again. Yeah, just about. It's funny how the yellow cars seem to well, look as right as you can expect them to look. They're sort of the left side and the right side of the yellow cars is correct. It's sort of got the wing and the wheels. Our car is only half correct. We've got the left rear and a bit of wing, and then we've got the number 1 making up the right hand side of our car. Must have been from a second-hand car dealer or something. I don't know. Dodgy dealer. And you can see we've got to 12 cars already that we've passed, so not a lot going on screen really. Mountains in the background there. Racetrack is straight as well. Absolutely no corners on this racetrack, it's just down a completely straight bit of road. And we've got the sort of 2-frame animation on the grass there, just flicking back and forth to try and create the illusion that we're actually moving. Move. Alright, have we moved too soon? Should just get away with that one. It's getting a little bit boring now doing this, so I don't know, we'll keep going for a few more cars and then see what happens. I suppose the old grids in those days, the Formula 1 grids, they might have had about 30 cars on them, so we'll make 30 our number. We'll do 30 cars. And assuming we haven't crashed by then, we'll just end the game. It's very slow to get out of the way now. I think things are slowing down a bit. Things seem to be going just a little bit too slow now. Things have really slowed down. Things are quite sluggish. And I've just realised I can't move right either. I seem to be frozen into that corner. I think we might have a crash. Program crash, that is, not a car crash. Yeah, we're stuck. Okay, and the yellow cars are not moving any closer. Okay, I think that's a crash. So, well... oh well, that's Formula 1. I hope you enjoyed having a look at that one in spite of the crash, and we'll have another video tomorrow. Okay, bye.